This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Thank you for joining us on the news at 7. I'm Amanda Starantino.
And I'm Mark Mullins. There's no escaping the wind in central Indiana today.
Wind gusts have toppled trees and power lines, knocking out power 2000s. A tough situation the night before Thanksgiving.
We're going to get right to Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory with a forecast.
And questions are, how windy and when will the wind calm down? In Indianapolis, the peak gust of 60, but it hit 62 in both Crawfordsville and Muncie. Tomorrow, a much different story, maybe 15-mile-per-hour gusts. Whole different feel to the day tomorrow. As far as our wind warning, that's still in effect, but only for a couple more hours as the gusts were losing strength. And so that will expire at 9, but gusts until then between 40 and 50, between 30 and 40 to the south. As far as our temperature right now, 40 degrees in Indianapolis, 38 in Peru and Lafayette. But as we mentioned, the wind is still strong. 40-mile-per-hour gust in Indy, 41 in Lafayette. That has to be factored in because now it's a cold wind that's driving our wind chill temperatures down into the mid-20s in spots. Miami County 26 in Peru is what it feels like, 29 in Indianapolis. It will be dry overnight, the wind gradually calming down as we get to midnight, gusts in the 30s, gusts in the 20s through the early morning hours, and then much calmer through the dry but cool Thanksgiving Day.
And Kevin, crews are working across the state to restore power to thousands and clean up damage from today's wind. Officials today say that it's a good reminder to not underestimate wind power. And if you see down power lines, call 911 and stay away.
And because of those high winds, the Carmel Chris Kindle Market and the ice rink at Center Green closed for the day. The high winds were blowing around some equipment at the market, and the city decided it was not safe. A reminder, the market and ice rink are also closed tomorrow for Thanksgiving. Also canceled tonight, the opening night of Lights at the Brickyard at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The first night of public operation will now be tomorrow night.
That damaging wind we're dealing with is part of the wild weather stretching across the country thanks to 2 major storms, all of it just in time for one of the busiest travel days of the year. AAA predicts an estimated 49.3 million travelers will be behind the wheel for Thanksgiving. That's the most since 2005. INDOT has lifted most road restrictions and closures where possible, and extra Indiana State Police troopers will be on the highways through Sunday. They say they'll be aggressively observing for moving violations, dangerous and impaired drivers, and people not buckled up. As for air travel, hundreds of flights have been delayed or canceled across the country. You can see from FlightAware's misery map, Denver, Chicago, and New York are getting hit the hardest. But travelers we spoke with at Indianapolis International Airport are staying positive, including Jennifer Wetzel. She's heading to Florida to spend Thanksgiving with a brother she just learned about 2 months ago.
I think at our age, just every minute is precious, and I always say we have to seize the day because we're not in our 20s and 30s, and so truly, like, every minute that I get to talk to him or get to see him is super special.
Jennifer says she learned about her brother through a 23andMe DNA test.
An Avon woman is warning others tonight after her pickup truck's tailgate was stolen. Working for you, Megan Singh-Torum found out how common the crime is and how you can protect your car.
It's a quick and easy crime, and it happened this weekend outside of the Plainfield Walmart. Nicole Wilson says her husband ran into the store for a quick errand, but when he came back outside, the tailgate on their truck was gone.
Would have never suspected that this could happen in 2 minutes or less time in a parking lot that's busy on a Saturday afternoon full of people.
Now they're looking at about $2,000 to replace it. Campfield's auto repair shop in Plainfield says this crime is fairly common. In fact, they just finished repairing this truck after its tailgate was stolen as well. If the tailgate is unlocked, thieves can detach it in less than a minute. Experts at Campfield say there's a cheap piece of equipment you can get to deter would-be thieves.
Put a hose clamp around. You can get them at any parts store for, less than $1. Put it on, tighten it down with a screwdriver. Most thieves aren't going to have a screwdriver or want to get it. They want quick, easy, get it and go.
The Wilson family says they'll be doing everything they can now to stop this from happening again.
Keeping it locked, everything has to be locked down now, including the tailgate, and just really being more aware of the surroundings. If you see something that looks suspicious in a parking lot with somebody messing with the vehicle, probably a good time to question it and maybe seek authorities to just take a look at it.
Working for you, Megan Singh-Torum, RTV6.
Plainfield police are reviewing security footage from the Walmart parking lot, but say as of now, they do not have any suspect information.
Today, family, students, and members of the West Washington School Corporation community honored the high school football coach who is giving a gift of life after his death. They lined the halls of St. Vincent Hospital in Indianapolis to watch as West Washington coach Philip Bousman was wheeled to the operating room for organ donation. The 43-year-old Bousman died Monday after suffering a stroke during the Senators semi-state game Friday night at Lutheran High School. Bousman leaves behind a wife, a daughter, and a son. Visitation is Friday at Mount Tabor Christian Church in Salem from 11 to 8 and Saturday from 10 until noon. The funeral will follow at noon. The family asked people to wear their senator attire on Friday and Saturday.
Thousands of volunteers are getting ready to serve one of the biggest Thanksgiving meals around the annual Moselle Sanders dinner. Crews are working tonight at Butler University's Atherton Union. That's where all the cooking is taking place to feed more than 22,000 families tomorrow. We caught up with one volunteer who has been helping with her family since she was a toddler. She says others in her generation can learn a lesson about giving back.
There's not a lot of young people out here helping out. They just think they're like really privileged and they don't have to help out a lot of people. So I think it's really important for every young person to help out here and give back to the community.
All of the cooking for the Moselle Sanders dinner is taking place at Butler, but it will be taken to more than 30 satellite locations for serving. You can find a list of those locations at theindychannel.com. IU Health West is giving people a reason to take part in an age-old pastime. The hospital is getting people to pick up a needle and yarn for a cause that goes far beyond knitting. Troy Washington is working for you to explain how the program impacts families.
Every time the needle meets the yarn, more than just beautiful colors come out. The prayer shawls being given out at IU Health West serve many purposes. The shawls come in all different colors, and they are knitted to give patients warmth and comfort during tough times, to remind them to remain hopeful through it all.
It's just an act of compassion, an act of comfort, and just brings a little warmth into the room.
Michael Gilbert is the hospital's chaplain. He's used to passing out shawls to patients, but recently supporting a co-worker led to a moment that reminded him the magnitude of the program's mission.
To receive that gift was very meaningful to us.
It matters more than anyone could ever imagine because Janina Miller's mom, Nancy Murray, is the one who started the program a decade ago at IU Health West.
The prayer shawl program was something that she was very passionate about.
Fast forward to a few months ago, Miller found herself getting a shawl for her mother from Gilbert, a gesture that came after her mother suddenly got sick.
That it brought it full circle. It was something that it was her idea. She was very passionate about it.
Miller's mom passed away, but even though she's gone, her daughter holds on to the last prayer shawl she finished. According to Miller, Murray was still working on shawls until she was too sick to continue the job.
My mom was very loving, caring person, always wanting to help other people.
Now that passion will live on as the program continues and more people come on board to keep the cycle of showing compassion going. Working for you in Avon, Troy Washington, RTV6.
You can either knit or crochet a prayer shawl, also known as a prayer blanket. If you want to take part in the program, we have all the details on how to get involved in this story on the RTV6 app and theindychannel.com.
Coming up on the news at 7, high-tech solutions to stop people from driving while under the influence. How 2 new methods work to possibly put an end to drunk driving.
But first, how a unique program is helping foster kids and rescue dogs to learn from each other to one day find forever homes.
6 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. See you there.
Welcome back to the news at 7. New tonight, an inside look at an obedience school like no other.
Rescue dogs in need of forever homes are learning how to behave from some teenagers who have something in common with these pets.
Shirley Chan with our Scripps News partners in New York City shows you how foster teens are learning about themselves by working with animals.
Let him give you kisses.
3 to 4 times a week after school, 14-year-old Justin and 18-year-old Kavoy teach new dogs new tricks.
Good job! Yay! Give them lots of love.
We get a treat and try to get their attention. We put it to their nose and start teaching them basic skills like sit, watch me, and just lay down.
I like seeing them happy, and when they're happy, I'm happy.
Today, it's these 3 who are bringing smiles to their faces. By their size, they don't look like puppies, but they are. A trio of rambunctious, playful mixed-breed pups, siblings affectionately named Mo, Larry, and Curly. Justin and Kavoy are training the dogs and getting them adoption ready for their forever homes. And these teens are also gaining important life skills and perhaps learning a little about themselves at the same time.
A lot of these dogs, we don't know their backgrounds, and there might be trauma related there. So for them to come out of their shells, and the hard reality is a lot of these kids here have also similar trauma in their backgrounds. So to see them grow and learn to trust, I think that's really big.
This is Children's Village in Dobbs Ferry, a nonprofit organization that works with at-risk youth from all over the New York metropolitan area. The children housed on their residential campus are in the foster care system. One of their programs is Work Appreciation for Youth, or WAY, giving teens real career skills. There's a barbershop and a cafe on campus where they can get certifications to work in those industries. And of course, there's the kennel.
Seeing kids leave our program, go to the community, get jobs, continue their education, and be productive citizens, that's one of the best things we can do.
Puppies you just have to be way more patient with. Good job!
Jeanette McManus runs the Canine Rescue and Rehab program. The dogs are from Paws Cross Animal Rescue in Elmsford, New York. Jeanette brings the rescue dogs to Children's Village for obedience training, and she oversees the teens who are paid an hourly wage as trainers. But for these kids, it's so much more than a paid after-school job. It's a chance at a future.
A lot of these kids, they come in and they have a very hard exterior, but you put a puppy in front of them and that just melts away.
In the past year, the dog training program here at Children's Village has gotten at least 50 dogs ready for adoption.
The dogs become better socialized and learn basic obedience, making them more attractive to potential adoptive families. A certain irony as their trainers are looking for love and support as well. Trainer and dog both healing through an emotional connection with each other.
That's a good feeling because I like to see a dog have a home and they're safe.
What do you feel like you've learned from this job, and what's the best part about the program?
That to be patient and that responsibility is a big thing.
Well, changes coming to the forecast. Not as windy tomorrow. Also, rain is going to come back. I'll let you know when. We'll have the timing and how it impacts your weekend.
This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
It sounds like the technology of the future. Someone who's had a little too much to drink tries to drive home, but their car is smart enough to know not to let them. It could become a reality for all new cars within the next few years. Maya Rodriguez takes us inside the lab testing this technology.
On an old road in rural Massachusetts comes a new technology that could change everything about drunk driving.
Right now, it's doing that in the background.
By eliminating it.
It's a big problem.
Bud Zauk is president of KEA Technologies, a company that is currently testing alcohol sensors in cars that would prevent a drunk driver from hitting the road.
It's a public-private partnership between the auto industry, all 17 automakers in the U.S., and the federal government through National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
How does it work? There are two technologies. One that measures the level of alcohol in someone's breath, similar to a breathalyzer, and another that detects alcohol through a touch of fingertips. The technology would allow you to start a vehicle, but if alcohol is detected, that vehicle would not move at all. Outside of the lab,
hypothetically, the breath is accepted. We'll see the green light in the top right corner.
The real-world testing involves using passengers with varying levels of intoxication. It's more complicated than just getting someone drunk on vodka.
A lot of science actually goes behind that. So we have something that we call a drink master. We can calculate in milliliters how much alcohol to give them.
Every time I got into my car after the crash, I would replay it in my head.
Kristen Davis is with Mothers Against Drunk Driving. A few days before Christmas in 2016, a drunk driver blew through a red light at 55 miles per hour, hitting Kristen's car. She was 7 months pregnant at the time.
I had to be cut out, and I didn't know whether or not my baby had survived.
Her baby did survive, but Kristen hopes the alcohol sensors can help others avoid the ordeal she went through.
I hope to see it one day as standard as seatbelts and airbags and backup cameras.
And that day might be sooner than you think. A bipartisan bill that's making its way through Congress could make alcohol sensors standard in all new vehicles, possibly within the next 4 years.
This technology can't be optional. It needs to be in everybody's car for it to be effective.
Back in Massachusetts, the testing to make the alcohol sensors road ready keeps going in the effort to save the more than 10,000 people killed each year by drunk drivers.
We need to make sure that this doesn't happen on our roads and make sure that we're able to save these lives.
And make the roads safer for everyone. In Marlborough, Massachusetts, Amaya Rodriguez reporting.
And the first cars to see these alcohol sensors installed will likely be government fleet vehicles used by local, state, and federal agencies. It is not clear yet how much each sensor would end up costing.
Well, something to keep in mind with Cyber Monday around the corner and online holiday shopping underway. Be careful what you believe when you do your research about certain products. A new analysis says there may be more fake reviews out there than you realize. Best SEO companies looked at nearly 3 million reviews. It found nearly 40% of them were unreliable. Electronic products tend to have the most unreliable reviews, followed closely by apparel. You don't want the sleeves falling off something, right?
No, no, no.
A lot was being rattled around today. You know, we have thunderstorm warnings when winds get to 58 miles per hour or more. So this would have been a day if there were thunderstorms that you would issue warnings. We're used to getting line of storms and a quick blast of wind, but this was sustained all day. Yeah, and I think that led to some of the problems, right? It just continues to weaken some of the trees, leads to power outages, and so that's been the plan today, but we get much calmer as we go through the overnight and tomorrow. We're dry for your Thanksgiving. Rain returns late Friday. More on the timing here in a second, and it will be a soggy Saturday the way it looks. Friday during the day, lots of clouds around. This is 7 p.m. Latest model run shows rain still hanging back from Terre Haute to Bloomington and then sliding south and east from there. Not until probably after midnight that we see more widespread rain in central Indiana. Then that continues overnight into Saturday morning. The intensity of the rainfall will increase as well, and in many spots may have an inch of rain or more. Show you some of the predictions here in a second. Rain likely Saturday, 50 degrees. That's a late day high. Sunday, we're dry most of the day. It's Sunday night into Monday morning that we'll see a rain-snow mix. Temperature of about 47. Rainfall potential again from Friday night through Saturday, and this will take us to 11 o'clock Saturday. We may still have some rain overnight into Sunday morning, but gives you an idea. An inch to an inch and a quarter in spots, a little less than that as you go to the north. Where are we now? Windy, 40 degrees in Indy. It doesn't feel that warm, but trust me, 41 in Bloomington and Muncie. Temperatures are in the 30s from Muncie on through Zionsville. You've got some snow coming off the lakes there from Syracuse to Buffalo. And in the northeast, it's all about the wind for the Macy's Parade, as wind gusts may ground the balloons. Are going to wait to make that call tomorrow morning just before the parade. Thanksgiving high for us, 41. 44 on Friday. Again, the rain arrives late as we plan your day tomorrow. Temperatures in the low 40s by noon. That's basically where we stay. The northwest wind, cool wind, but just 5 to 10 miles per hour. When we see gusts, they'll just be to 15 miles per hour. High temperatures tomorrow struggle to reach 40 degrees. In a few spots they probably will. Watch the turkey trot across the screen and on his way to Ohio. Temperatures around 40 tomorrow with mostly cloudy skies. Other temperatures below average across all of central Indiana. As you look at the 7-day forecast, we've got the wet Saturday. We dry out for most of Sunday, but Sunday night and Monday, rain snow mix potential as some colder air catches moisture. We're dry Tuesday and Wednesday. Temperatures in the upper 30s once again.
We just want everyone to be safe.
Yes, have a great night tonight and tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Kevin, for that. Well, still ahead here on RTV6, a Kentucky company is changing the lives of adults with special needs.
And they have a big goal to help even more people with disabilities. That story's next when the news at 7 continues.
The 6 shines on Toy Drive.
A new all-natural dog biscuit company based in Louisville is hoping to change lives of humans as well as pets. Wiggle Wow launched in August and provides jobs for adults with disabilities. The company's founder says he has hired 4 adults so far, along with a parent to work with them. Wiggle Wow's first hired employee, Dante, struggled to find a job for 5 years. His mom says she's grateful for the opportunity given to her son.
His first day, he was so excited. He was just so excited, really excited. And I'm excited, too, because I get to come along with him, you know, and watch him work.
Each special needs adult hired is called an Epic Chef. They help cut dough, stamp it out with a WOW logo, and bake the dog treats before packaging them to sell. The company's founder hopes that 10 years from now, Wiggle Wow will be the largest employer in America for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
I love that. What a great idea.
Yeah, it's great to see it.
I like the name.
Boosting that. Wiggle Wow.
Wiggle Wow. Wow is the word of the day because the winds have been so strong. We're at 40 now. The wind tomorrow, not a big deal in comparison. Northwest at 15, and it will struggle to hit 40 on Thanksgiving Day. Nice, relaxing day, hopefully.
Yeah. For good traveling.
Right.
Should be good.
Good cooking.
Good cooking. That's what's important. We'll see you at 11.
We'll see you back there tonight at 11.